And with just a week to go now until the general election, the latest polls still show that Labour and the Conservatives are neck and neck. With it all still to play for, have people here in the West made up their minds about who they're going to vote for?
Well, to find out, Ellie Barker has been with different groups of people in our Party Colours series. In the final one, she's been out and about with a walking group from Bristol.
Lots of the movers and shakers of the political world over the last few weeks, but these are the movers and shakers of Bristol. That's the name of this walking group. It's one of several organised by the charity LinkAge for over 55s. Once a week they meet to take in the beautiful scenery around the city and have a good old catch-up. Today they have a strong leader in Cheryl, who's taking them forward. But do they feel the same about today's political offering? First up on this week's panel, we have Dennis Bishop from Whitchurch. He's a retired office clerk, a dad and a granddad.
On this particular, it never affected me in my life so much as this election, because, I mean, years ago, I mean, they used to come to you, you know, in a personal way. They always fight for power by using, we'll say, sort of dirty tactics. But what concerns me this time, and I'm very concerned about it, is the involvement of the SNP. I think what's happening now, they're trying to frighten people.
Then we have Barbara Moss. She's a volunteer with LinkAge and a retired healthcare assistant.
Are people talking about the general election?
Not a lot, no.
Why is that, do you think?
It's boring.
Do you think the politicians are boring or the issues are boring? What's boring, do you think?
They're not coming to the people. They're not coming to the local people, are they? They're going to companies and things like that, which is not us.
Donald Hepburn is also from Whitchurch. He served in the Navy and then worked as a senior administrator.
The election is just days away.
Yes.
Are you excited about it in any way?
Not particularly.
Why not?
I think, if I'm honest, bored to tears with it all. I do watch bits. You know, I've seen all the three party leaders and part of the discussions, and I'm not particularly impressed with any of them.
Is that why you're bored? Because you're not impressed by them?
No, I've heard all the promises from, you know, the National Health Service through to housing and the whole remit. They're all scoring sparks off each other, really.
Finally, we have Margaret Oxenham. She's now also a volunteer with LinkAge, but used to work as a university hall bursar. She's a mother and grandmother too.
It's a bit worrying for me because we've had this time when we've been very careful and everyone has, you know, realised that we had to cut back. And I think most people were quite happy with that because we don't want to run the debt onto our children and our grandchildren. We struggled when we started and it's not easy anyway.
The Bluebells may capture the spirit of spring, but have any of the different coloured parties managed to capture their votes? On our travels, we picked up some red for Labour, blue for Conservatives, yellow for Lib Dems, green for the Greens and purple for UKIP.
So the big question is, what happens when we put the contenders to our party colour test? Are we ready, guys?
Yay! I've decided I'm voting Conservative, so the colour is blue.
I'm undecided, so it might be red or purple.
So I decided to vote Conservative and I'm going blue.
I'm still undecided, so I could be blue, yellow or red.
So it's still a mixed bunch in this group and time is running out for one party to stride ahead. Ellie Barker, ITV News.